Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Chris, aka Fit Vegan Activist. So last week I told you I'm going to repost old videos that I did from 4 years ago that I still think are interesting. But before I do that, let me just show you where I am. Behind me is a Dam Square. I'm in Amsterdam right now, participating in one Dam month with Anonymous for the Voiceless. This is day 4. So I thought I would do an intro for this video with this setting before I explain what the video is all about. I'm going to record a lot of outreach videos, hopefully, while I'm here until the 16th of August. Today's the 4th of August. Recording the outreach, editing it, posting it, and that requires a lot of time. So I'm just going to repost an older video. That older video was kind of a street action social experiment that we did 4 years ago in Malta, where we were taking people through a series of questions, asking them about moral issues, but without revealing the word vegan in the conversation and trying to make them realize if they are against exploiting others in any context. So, without further ado, here's the video. Let me know what you think. And next videos coming up, experience from the vegan camp out, and a lot of outreach from here, from One Dam.
Would you say that you are morally against oppression, injustice, and exploitation?
In my opinion, I think the people, when they're doing the justice does wrong whenever they don't treat other people fairly. So, for example, if you have a case or there is a person on the street and everyone is trying to, I don't know, make fun of him or something like that, or something happens to him, then I would say that one needs to be very fair on how to judge other people and how to I don't know how to look at other people in the way that they are being portrayed as themselves, not like for example, if you have a way of I don't know, a way of dressing up or a way of something else, then I would feel that I would want to be judged by the way that, not by the way that I look, but by the way that my character is showing.
Are you, as a person, morally against these things?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any situation where you would justify these things?
So justifying the exploitation.
Yes.
I personally believe that no situation is allowed for the exploitation. So no.
So the answer is no.
No, no, obviously no.
Okay.
I don't really know.
So then it's a no, maybe. Like a quick answer. A quick answer, like.
No, yes, no.
Okay. Are you familiar with the words racism, sexism, and slavery?
Yes. You want me?
No. So you know the meaning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know the meaning of it.
You know the meaning of the words racism, sexism, and slavery?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So, do you know that in the course of hundreds of thousands of years of human history, being against these things like slavery, sexism, and racism is a very new thing?
It's becoming less new, I think, like now, because
For example, in Malta, women were allowed to vote in 1947.
yes, exactly. But before we didn't used to vote. We didn't have. But I still do believe that, for example, me as a woman, I still do believe that we are still not as in a level as, like, for example, Sweden or Finland or Denmark, because I feel that sexism has a long way to go, especially here in Malta, because there's a lot of women that feel oppressed at work and that feel that they are not treated well, especially if there are men. Like, females are not treated as well as males. They're not paid as much as males. I mean, here maybe it's getting better and better by time, but I do believe that there's still a long way to go.
I agree on that, but generally people, think that being sexist, racist, and having slaves, it's wrong. Nowadays, it's not legal, at least.
Yes.
Okay. And for example, 1947, we have 2020. It's like how much? Almost 80 years.
Yes, approximately.
In the course of thousands of years, it's like a fraction of it. Are you aware that in the course of hundreds of thousands of years of human history, being against slavery, and racism and sexism is very new.
It is. I would say it is very new because obviously after the Enlightenment, whatever, not Enlightenment, but anyway, that's yeah. After those New Left studies from the UK and also the after the civil movement in the US.
For example, in the USA, I think the slavery was abolished in 1865, which is like less than 200 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but thousands and thousands of years before, people were, exploiting other people.
Yeah.
So, would you say that because people have been doing a certain thing, which is wrong, for thousands and thousands of years, then it justifies it?
I'd say. I would say it might be complicated because you have to look at the obviously the society itself and also the different morality and the different
But what do you think as a person that is, right or wrong? Like, what is your objective truth? Like, but as a person, you have your personal opinion. But what do you think that it's the objective truth to be against racism, slavery, and sexism, right?
So you mean so let me clear. So what I'm going to say that against.
You as a person think that it's wrong to be racist, sexist, or to have slaves.
Yeah.
And if you would ever say that because people used to have slaves thousands of years ago, that it's okay to have slaves in this modern day?
No, I would say no. I mean, obviously, that system of the back to those 100 years ago itself was wrong as well. So, I mean, obviously, systematically, it is wrong.
So it's okay that we nowadays don't have slaves, and we are I'm aware that still maybe in place of the word racism exists, but it's generally considered a bad thing to be racist, and slavery is not legal in the most parts of the modern world, at least in modern societies. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously the system of the slavery exists in a different layers, in an invisible way, it might be.
Yes.
So that is quite obvious. But obviously, any human beings should be treated equally and without any biases. So I mean, obviously, without any systematic fault.
Okay, that's great. Would you say that because people were doing something for thousands and thousands of years that was wrong, it's a justification to continue doing it to this day?
No, I think it took a while for people to realize that they're being racist or that they're being sexist, because I think that people before used to, they didn't complain. They used to stay for whatever they wanted, It's not like, for example, if you do something to me nowadays, I can tell you, listen, don't do that, or I need to be treated differently, or need to be treated better, for example. But before, they were so brainwashed, I think, that they were just, staying for everything that they are told, They do as they told, and that's it.
So now let's imagine that we're traveling back in time. Okay, and we are in 1800 in Alabama, in the United States. And you are watching a conversation between a slave owner, a heated debate, let's say, between a slave owner and somebody who is against slavery and opposes it and protests against it. And the slave owner says this to the other guy: I understand that you are against slavery, and it's your right to be against slavery. I respect your opinion, but it's also my right to own slaves. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's convenient for me to have slaves, for me. So please stop trying to force your opinion on me. Whose side would you take on that debate?
It's a bit of a tough question, but today, with the knowledge that we have and the knowledge that I have, I would obviously choose the side of the non-slave.
I'm saying, what do you think it's objectively the right thing to do, regardless of the era? Like, what is objectively the right thing to do? What do you think is the right thing to do?
I would say, like, if I was living in that time and I would see the people that are like hitting other people and having slaves and they're not treating them well and everything. I mean, and you see that they're hurting, then obviously I would go with the side of the slaves, because I would help them to be a voice, because they didn't have a voice back then.
So let's imagine that we're traveling now back in time, and we're in 1800 Alabama, in the United States.
Alabama, okay, right.
Okay, and you are observing a debate between a slave owner and somebody who is against slavery. Okay, and the slave owner says this: I respect your opinion and that you are against slaves, against slavery, but it's also my right to own slaves. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's convenient for me to own slaves. So please stop trying to force your opinion on me. Whose side would you take in this argument?
So
You're observing it from as a third person from modern day.
So with that discourse might be slightly tricky because the law itself defines the slavery system or the slavery system, but ultimately it is. The ultimate discourse is that any human being shouldn't be treated like in a different way based on any features of the bodies or any different background. So
Or the color of the skin, or whatever, different characteristics external, right?
well, yeah.
So basically the answer is that you would take the side of the guy who is against slavery.
I
Bottom line, yes.
Bottom line, yes, but that might be a bit the different thing because it's the law itself is different. Also, the system itself, obviously, system is defined by the law, for example, or
Yes. But what is legal is not always what is moral, right?
true, yeah, I'd say that.
So if you were living in that time and you were against slavery, okay, you would be a minority,
Yeah,
and people would think that you were extreme.
yeah.
All right. Would you still speak up for what is right and be against slavery, or would you, follow the majority of people that say that it's good to have slaves,
Why,
or that it's like moral, or that it's okay, normal, acceptable?
as a bottom line, I would speak up for that situation. However, it might be very different because it really depends on your situation or my situation.
Yes.
Because unless the thing is very crucial to myself, that I might not take any action. That is the very truth as well.
So that's why I'm saying you are in that situation, but you are already, changed your point of view, and you have changed the conditioning that you had from society that having slaves is a good thing, and you are speaking up against it without having without necessarily being the oppressed.
Right.
So you might be like a white person in that Alabama, but being against slavery. So you speak up for the oppressed.
Yeah.
Right.
I might do so. Yeah.
Okay. You are aware that if you were living in that time and you were against slavery, that you would be a minority and people would think that you are an extremist for choosing to take the side of of protesting against slavery.
I'll probably get killed.
Would you still do the right thing?
Yes, I think I would. It's a lot of pressure, but yes, I think I would. I would do the right thing. You always have to do the right thing. I told you, I would probably get killed.
But you would stand up for what is right.
Yes, I would stand up for what is right.
And now let's say that you know for a fact that a certain product, let's say for example Nike shoes, are produced by children in in Bangladesh or whatever, and you know that for a fact beyond any doubt. Would you still continue buying Nike shoes? Would you stop buying them, or would you say, okay, I'm going to buy Nike shoes once a year now, I'm going to reduce buying them?
Well, I'm not really radical, but maybe yes, I won't buy that product. Maybe. Yeah.
You have a choice. For example, you go into a store and you know that Nike shoes supports that cruelty, and it it's out in the public, it's direct, and you have another option, but you know that it's that it's not cruel, and it's more or at least there's a question mark there. You don't know for sure how it's manufactured.
Okay, no, in that case, I would choose that's the other option rather than buying Nike itself.
Okay. Are you familiar with the word speciesism? Speciesism.
Oh, speciesism, yeah, yes, yeah.
Are you familiar with the term speciesism?
Not really. I don't think so. No.
Speciesism is the idea that members of one species have characteristics that enable them to treat other species with an unfair or unjust manner and exploit them, and generally have dominion over them.
What species? What do you mean?
Humans versus animals, for example. Humans are a humans are a species. Okay, and animals, for example, cows are a different species. So humans as a species exploit and
Okay, yes, I understand.
and treat other species in an unjust manner. Okay, so do you consume animal products?
Yes. Yes, meat and everything.
Do you think that animals in the animal agriculture industry that are used for food, clothing and any other purpose count as being enslaved, treated unfairly and exploited?
In a way, yes, I think so.
So do you see that when it comes to animal rights you have a double standard of morality compared to human rights,
Yes.
but still oppression, injustice and exploitation is the same regardless of the species?
Yes, but it's different because it's in my opinion, the human beings are different. It's a controversial subject, but
How is racism different than speciesism?
because you're treating another human being, it's a tough subject.
Compared to animals we might look the same, but we are all the same in our capacity to suffer. So in that sense we have to treat everybody regardless of the species with kindness and compassion.
Yes, I think so. Yes, I agree on that one. But still, I do believe that animals and human beings are on a different level. I wouldn't hurt animals or something like that. But I don't know. It's just the way it is, I guess. And I would be the voice for animals, but I think that there are
What do you think? What do you think you can personally do about that?
of animals. Probably stop eating meat.
Do you know? Have you heard the word vegan?
Yes. Yes.
So if you are vegan, you are anti-speciesist.
Yes, kind of. But it doesn't mean that there isn't any racist vegans too.
Yes, then if they're racist and they're vegans, they're not actually holding the same values in that level. Do you consume animal products?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So do you see that how when it comes to animal rights you have double standards of morality? And would you consider that animals that we use for food, clothing or any other purpose, would you think that they count as being oppressed, being enslaved and being treated in an unfair way?
No, with regards that this issue, I don't take the vegan side. That is the food chain. That is ecosystem in physical world, and
Now, do you think that we need to consume animal products to survive in today's modern society?
So we should or have to, or is
Do you
that
think
an
do you think
obligation?
that it's necessary for our survival?
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay, what if I told you that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the largest organization of nutritional professionals in the world, has issued a statement that says that a carefully planned vegan diet is perfectly nutritionally adequate for all stages of the human life, including infancy, pregnancy, for athletes, or in all stages of the human life. Would you look into it?
Maybe, but before that, I have to see that what exactly written. So what's exactly stated.
So when it comes to animals, you don't think that they're being oppressed, being treated unfairly, and being enslaved?
Actually, well, this is already an unfair system. So in a way of the
But do you think that the treatment towards the animals, it's unfair for them, and that they're being exploited or enslaved? Do they count on going under these categories?
yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be.
Okay, so yeah, then yourself, you said in the first part of the interview that you would never justify under any circumstance this treatment, like these things, oppression, injustice, and exploitation. That when you're vegan, it's not a diet. You take a stance, and you are against speciesism. So it's the opposite of being speciesist.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever consider looking into it and making a more informed decision about your choices? Because when it comes to these products, it's like I gave you the example with the shoes.
Yeah.
You go to the supermarket, you know that one product has direct impact on an animal's life, and the other product hasn't. So it's like a choice when you make, and when it's not necessary for your survival.
That might be a bit. Well, I would choose the less impact one, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
possibly.
Okay, good.